Wake up! I need you to be focused.
Don't let anyone tell you that shit.
To me, it's like the equivalent of taking a 5-hour energy shot. But it literally becomes like a raging like wildfire where I'm like, boom!
Well, hearing your passion and enthusiasm, that's like a whole different level.
I am learning that I am on the right path.
It's the lens through which you see the world. It is the filter through which every experience you have ever had since Earth has been through.
The key to building a successful team is to having a team with diverse strengths that all offset each other's weaknesses.
If we just follow what we love, we're gonna end up where we want.
Like some of the stuff you said, I'm like, oh my god, yeah, that's a really good way of thinking about it.
Did you see that movie that just came out about how the laundry was clean every day? Did you see that movie? Fuck no, you didn't see, because there's never been one.
I mean, that's a good label too. I like that.
Yeah.
No, I'm not neurodiverse. I'm just fucking awesome.
I have been kicking a lot of ass this month.
Exactly.
Finding different ways that we can give our own gifts out into the world, I think, is one of the most important things.
Knowing that you have ADHD is not surviving with ADHD or the world. You can thrive.
Oh, hell yeah.
I'm very proud of what I'm capable of, and I'm learning to be compassionate about the days when I'm not.
I would never exchange the good bits of ADHD to get rid of the deficit.
And we're very creative and we can solve problems and see the world in a really different light.
If I can leave one message to my ADHDers, don't give up.
It feels so good to talk to you about the fucking awesome stuff.
Right. Oh, god damn it, Lauren, yes.
I am there with them, and I am able to close out everything else and focus on them.
You are the driver in your seat. You are your creator.
When I learn something, when I actually learn it, I know it better than anybody else.
This is like one totally surreal experience.
Truly, I believe that neurodiverse people are the ones that change the world, because the world gives them their back and they have to find a way.
Nothing means more than when you give someone else hope.
If they're in an area where they're passionate about it, like nothing can stop them. We pick battles that are unwinnable and somehow end up winning them.
Because I can be the easiest person to manage if you respect me, if you listen to me, if you give me the time of day and give me patience.
You want that to touch other people's lives in a meaningful way.
That's all I want. And that is the ADHD passion side of it that really fucking matters. Welcome to Lobow's Spark. Hello there again, and welcome to Season 5 of Lobow's Spark, the Wildfire Intensifies. We gather together as a group once again, and this time we are discussing the topic of ADHD and music. The bottom line is that people with ADHD truly experience music, while most other people just listen to it. A special thank you to Terri for bringing this topic to the table. ADHDers featured in this episode are Terri, Blushing, Leo, Kirk, and yours truly, Lobow. The ADHD wildfire continues to spread as we discuss ADHD and music. I thought this was like, I mean, I'll get started just telling you. So Terri brought this topic up, which I thought was like unbelievable, because I've always thought about, why music affects me a certain way, but I'm curious to hear from y'all how music affects you. Like, how do you feel more when you listen to music? Is it the beat? Is it the lyric? Like, I don't know what it is, but if I get one song that I like, that is a 6 months on repeat situation.
Yep. Exactly. Yeah. Absolutely.
So Terri, why did you choose this topic, and give us a little bit about all that?
So, I was just thinking about things that I feel like have affected me my entire life, and just discovering that I have ADHD in the past year, I'm like, oh, music really has an effect on me, and why is that? And I see other people who have ADHD, say, oh, what song do you have on repeat this week, or all of that. And I'm like, the empathy thing too, when you because like I could listen to a sad song or a song that maybe I listened to that reminds me of a sad time, and I'm just like so down. Like I start feeling that depressed feeling that I may have had at that past time, or if it's a song that the lyrics are something I've never experienced, but it's just sad like that, I start to feel it as if I was the one who wrote the song. But the same goes with happy songs. Like I tell you, you get 70s song, like disco, funky music on, I am like my best self, because it's just happy, upbeat, and like you get some Stevie Wonder and I'm done. But I don't know if it's the wiring of the ADHD brain, if it's the search for the dopamine, like I said, the empathy that we have. So I feel like there's just a whole bunch of things with having ADHD that puts us in a prime position to just like feel music, not just like listen to it, but feel it. Because there are definitely songs, and it might be like just a riff or a couple notes or something, or it might be the singer's voice, just one word that they say that I just like get that feeling, you know, like it runs through your blood. Like, you know, when you have that first sip of wine, it's like, ooh, you know?
Yeah,
it just like touches your soul. So, I mean, there has to be some kind of connection. I don't know what it is, but we could theorize on that today.
Yeah, absolutely. Thank you very much for that. I want to start, I usually open it up to people. I want to start with Blushing because I know that she has just a passion for music, I think, beyond what we can cover from what I've heard. So Blushing, if you'd like to talk a little bit about it, that'd be awesome.
So first, I actually sang before I spoke. And I went on to become a trained classical singer later on. I was singing all the time from before I spoke. And then I went into choir at 7 and had some small breaks, but I was in choir pretty much all the time for many, many years until health said no. And then got back into choir in 2016, and I'm still in. But I'm a classically trained singer, and I also listen to lots of different kinds of music, from classical to metal to prog to some R&B. Doesn't really matter which genre, but music is my soul. I can't do without music, to put it that way. It's, as you said, it touches the soul. It is part of me.
That's awesome.
That
What about
awesome.
that is really cool. I'm really curious to know like what y'all's recent songs are that are not, we shouldn't say stuck in your head, but like songs that you like that you maybe shouldn't, or not shouldn't like, but something that you wouldn't ordinarily think, oh, that's a great song, but then you start to like it after a while. Like, for example, and Kirk responded to this tweet, the song Heat Waves, I don't know, I cannot get that out of my head.
That's a good song.
Well, I know it's a good song, but like that's not generally the type of music I would listen to, but for some reason that song echoes to me. Like, chime in, please, and help me because I don't understand why. I don't understand why that is.
Just because you brought that up, it's gonna be like you've started the cycle over again for me.
Right.
That song's gonna be there.
Oh, damn it! I'm sorry, Kirk. I didn't mean to do that.
For weeks
I'm
now.
trying to think of it. Is it the one that goes through the heat waves?
Yes. No.
No.
It's Heat Waves been freaking me out. Something. I don't know. It's like bass, in it as well. I don't know, but I hear it all the time. And you know what? It was TikTok. TikTok is what got me addicted to
Yep.
TikTok. I
That's
have
what it
like a
was.
playlist, and I'm like, this playlist is all of my TikTok songs.
Yeah, it's TikTok. That's exactly what it is. Okay, case solved. Thank you all for coming. That's it.
That's good. I wasn't familiar with that song, and it's because I haven't spent time on TikTok lately. That must
Good.
be it. So maybe I should just stay away.
Exactly.
I think I ran into it on a EDM playlist or something. Just something something I didn't expect it to be on. But
I have to find it.
So do y'all think that we hear music different than most people?
I know I do.
Absolutely.
I hear every single little aspect of music, and I did that before I was classically trained too. I just could sense, like, or not sense, but sense too, because I have that ability to sense music, not just hear it. Mm-hmm. But every little detail in the music would register. And that also does affect me when the music has disharmonic notes made to be that way. It's on purpose. Mm-hmm. It disturbs me. Oh my gosh, it disturbs me. I can't do it.
I love how much Blushing is into this. I absolutely love it.
Me too. Take over.
I know. Yeah. No, you're in charge now. Because it's one of those things where I don't know how to explain. Like, there's no, two ways about this. Is there does anyone know science behind this? Because I do feel like we listen to music. Of course, Blushing does. Blushing, you're the host.
No thanks. You're the host. But yes. A lot of it is that music, for all of us, not just people with ADHD, creates dopamine in our brain. And to some of us who have too little of that, we need that, and we need it bad. And I think a lot of the people I know with ADHD who are really into music of any different kind, or like me, all different kinds almost, that is what really keeps us listening to music. Mm-hmm. And I don't need to have it playing. I can actually, because I know so much music, be playing it kind of, quote unquote, inside of my head. There's music there all the time.
That kind of reminds me of Shawshank Redemption. That movie, of course, everyone's seen that, right? Shawshank Redemption. I mean, oh my goodness, Blushing and Terri. What?
I'm not a movie person, Lobow.
I gotcha. So, anyways, this guy gets sent to prison. He was basically convicted of a murder which he didn't commit, and he gets put in, solitary confinement for a month. And he said he basically replayed a song over and over in his head throughout that month, and that got him through it. He couldn't hear it, but it was all in his head, which I think speaks to what you were saying, Blushing, on that. Leo, what do you think about all this? Like, so, it's a hard one. This is a hard thing to get. I mean,
yeah. So first of all, I do want to ask a question. Does anyone else like wake up every day pretty much with a random song in their head, like playing? Like, and I have no control over what it is. One day it was Nickelback, which not something I typically listen to. But yeah, like it'll just be like a random song, like the second I wake up that is playing in my head. But yeah, beyond that, I found that I typically end up using music to kind of like dictate my mood. And so one of the things that I really started doing as I was like, trying to launch a startup and, trying to just do things that like outside of my comfort zone and all of that. Like I actually just like, I put together this playlist of just like pure motivation, like songs. And one of them that really was like the starting spark point for me was The Champion by Carrie Underwood and Ludacris, of all people. And so just songs like that of like, going out and conquering the world and like using that as kind of the fuel that, for anything I would do, and kind of developing like that kind of chip on my shoulder and like, all of it. And I found that is like absolutely huge for me. And so if I'm struggling with something, I'll typically fall back on music as a way to just like, cancel out anything else that's going on and get myself in the right mindset. So for me, that's been huge.
I do the exact same thing in terms of like at night, I will put on YouTube and I'll just type in inspirational music and all these videos and playlists come up and I have no idea what they are, but I will sit there for hours, pacing, until I get tired listening to inspirational stuff. What about you, Kirk? Is that something that you do, or is it, what is music to you?
Oh, 100%. So my music background is, my whole everybody's in music. My dad runs a music department for a university in Florida. My little brother's a professional musician. My mom is an accompanist. My aunt has like 8 CDs. She writes music. It showed up on The Flash and Arrow on like CW. My grandpa's like 80-something years old. He still plays trombone. Like everybody plays music. So I was in I grew up singing and playing drums. I was in the Florida State Youth Choir for 4 years. So surrounded by music my whole life. And in music my whole life. Music is, I use it a lot as a tool, very sort of what we were talking about, to whether I need to be motivated, whether I need more energy, whether I need less energy, whether I need to go to sleep. There's almost always something in my ears. I've started to, I'm not afraid to listen to music while I'm working with people at work, with customers. I have headphones in. They don't know that, but
how can you do that? So you will have music while talking to, yeah. Oh man, that is amazing, because that would be so dangerous if I did that. Like if I'm listening to Eminem and I'm talking to a customer, that would be a huge problem. Talking about waking up with something in your head, Leo, for some reason, the final rap battle in 8 Mile is an echo for me on a daily basis ever since I saw it. But I mean, everyone has their favorites, but then I'll hear a song that's not motivating and I'll start crying out of nowhere.
Mm-hmm.
Why is that? It doesn't make that.
What Terri said about empathy, we have such a level of being easily affected by emotions, including emotions in music. Mm-hmm. So if that music is sad or very touching, we are going to cry, or at least feel like crying. And if it's upbeat, it's easily going to make us happy, unless you're in a really deep depression, because honestly, not a lot helps then. But in quote unquote normal circumstances, it affects us the way that the creators of music intended it to, but maybe in a more intense way for us compared to those who don't have ADHD.
So
just like everything else, it's more intense.
Right.
It's a lot of everything.
That's great though, because I mean, if you're a musician and we like your music, we are your super fan. Mm-hmm. At that. I mean, that's Ave Guapo, by the way. I didn't know he was this unbelievable musician. That guy raps. It's incredible. Google
yes.
Ave. It is awesome. It is, rap is, I love it. I think it's motivating as shit, all of it. That's
rap is like my go-to.
Not only rap, it's there are a lot of other.
He also does beatboxing and all these sound effects and everything, and raps at the same time. It does sound like he's mixing it, but he's not.
Right,
he's actually doing it at the same time. I don't know how he does it.
Yeah, I agree. I'm fascinated that y'all feel emotionally about music the same. I mean, that's pretty much straight up across the ADHD board. We do feel it so much more than anyone else does, which I think is awesome. Blushing said it perfect. We experience it the way the musician designed it to be experienced. I think that is the best comment ever.
Right. So that's we're experiencing their art, the full sensation that they intended, that maybe they even had envisioned themselves when they were putting the work together to elicit those feelings.
I 100% agree with that. I'm really glad you said that. That is something. I have spent an obscene amount of money on headphones because I always want the music to sound like what was intended.
Mm-hmm.
And I think part of that is, I think it's part of our ability to empathize, and part of it is our ability to hyper focus, where we're going to dive into that. And the more true that is, the more, the closer that resembles what the artist intended, the easier it is for us to be in that position. So I think that's really, really important. And I think that's something that's at least amazingly true for myself. I find myself always wanting to be I want the whole room to be quiet. I don't want to be able to hear anything else but the music. If I'm listening to listen, I want to be able to sit there and listen to the whole album straight through. I don't want to have to pause. I don't want to have to skip. I'm going to listen to the album in order. I don't want to hear anything else because I want to feel what that album intended me to feel. And I think we have the ability to do that, where some people just want to listen to, can bounce around or skip to their favorite track, or we're going to do that too. But
and then they can shut it off. They can shut it off. They can be listening to something and then say, okay, I'm done listening to music. If we're really into it, it's probably going to last a while.
Right. Yeah. I go on drives specifically to listen to music. And when I take my lunch break at work, I'm I'll eat at my desk while I'm working. I don't care, but I am going for a drive. And I know which ways to go where I have the least amount of traffic, so that I could just blast my music and listen to it, kind of take a step away from whatever's going on. I'm just in that zone. I know I have 30 minutes to do this, and that's it. And I listen to every single type of music except for screamo stuff.
Same.
Yeah.
You're not a Slayer fan?
No, not really.
I got you.
They were awesome in concert.
They are awesome.
It's funny because I took my wife to see Slayer, and she is not, let's say, a Slayer fan. It was quite the experience.
I bet that was unreal. What's the best concert y'all have been to?
Oh my goodness!
Live show.
I'm in the music world. I've been to so many.
That's a tough question.
I don't know if I could answer that either.
Yeah. No, since I'm on the inside of it, I also have volunteered for quite a few metal concerts, where multiple of those had 3 or 4 bands in one concert. It's like a mini festival long thing. Honestly, I can't figure out one. I have so many. But the comment about Slayer, for instance, or similar ones, or anyone that has a lot of screaming where I can't tell what they're singing, I can actually like their rhythms, but I can't stand the screaming because it affects that very sensitive hearing, that sense of the music, where it's just too much. And I've heard quite a few other people with ADHD say that, but the other end of that is a lot of people who have ADHD get the adrenaline kick from that, and that again leads to a dopamine rush, which of course is something that they like the feeling of. So it's different reactions from different people, even within the ADHD people.
Screaming ones, yeah. So there's I can't think of the name of the band, but they're metal or whatever, and that's how a lot of their lyrics are. But then they did one of their albums, maybe 5 songs. Acoustic isn't the right word, I guess, but they did it singing. And
melodic?
Yeah. And I'm these are some of my favorite songs ever, just because they're not screaming, because they
I think
vocalized it. I'm sorry, I don't know words.
They were singing, not screaming.
Yeah, basically.
Yep.
So back to the concert thing. Could y'all even, like, Kirk, could you even answer that? Leo, could you? I mean,
I actually I can answer it in a couple different ways. So I have a few concerts that really stand out to me. So one of the coolest concerts I went to was a Metallica concert, which was huge for me because that was like the first band I was into, like from the age of 4. So getting able to see them live was like kind of like a huge deal for me, right? And we were like right up on the stage, and it was awesome. The wildest concert I went to was actually Clutch, who I wasn't a huge fan, but I knew some people who like were huge fans. And I have never seen a crowd like that. Like as soon as they stepped on the stage, like the entire venue became like a giant mosh pit. And I was with a guy who got kicked out of that concert 4 different times and somehow kept getting back in, which was just an astounding feat. Like I don't even know. Actually, I think it was that the same show? I think it was. One of the like coolest musical things was a band called Russian Circles, who plays like instrumental metal. Like there was no singing. I remember like the stage was actually kept like pretty dark to where you couldn't even really make out the features, and it was just this like concert style metal, or like not but like I can't quite describe it, but it was just all instrumental and very deeply felt, which was cool. And then the first concert I went to was also pretty cool because it was Dream Theater, who has some incredibly talented musicians. And the thing that stands out from that one is there was like a period of like, I don't know, 15 or 20 minutes where everybody in the band just took turns like soloing and just showing how ridiculously good at their instruments they were. Like I remember the lead singer just like walked off to the side of the stage to like smoke a cigarette and like hang out while everybody in the band just took turns like playing ridiculously complicated stuff. So that's kind of a list of like the highlights that I've been to.
I love how everyone's
that reminded me of 2 of my favorites. The first one was Black Sabbath.
There you go.
Who came to Oslo. And I was supposed to listen to their concert the year before, but one of the band members had cancer, but got well enough that they could come over about 10 months later or something. So they came over and we did go and see Black Sabbath. The other one was, like Leo was talking about, Dream Theater, who came to a small stage 3 or 4 hours away from where we lived at the time. But we drove down solely to go to that concert with a friend of ours. And we were at the concert, and like you were saying, he walked over to the side, smoked, talked to some people over there from the public while smoking, and the other people were doing their solo things. And we're talking like a outside venue, backyard of a restaurant type place, probably 300 people, and Dream Theater. Imagine
That's
me
amazing.
Going, wow, this is intimate concert kind of, because that's Dream Theater. They're not normally with 300 people, you know, and they loved it. They had so much fun. But yeah, those are 2 of many.
Kirk, can you pinpoint them?
So a couple have come to mind. Because my parents were so involved in music, my mom was a music theory major. So we tended to go to really bizarre stuff. There was, I remember we went to a percussion group. That was astounding. They did a lot. I wish I could remember who they were. But they did a lot of really, they did a lot of percussion, and a lot of it was, so it was a percussion group. They did a lot of some of the like the time signatures were really complex. It was like 7-11 time. I don't know if you guys know anything like would understand that. But like me and my mom who's a music theory major, and me who's a drummer, like sitting there following and understanding what they're doing on a complexity level was really, really cool. Like on a technical level, what they were pulling off was mind-boggling. So stuff like that, like really bizarre, really fringe. But probably the most emotionally charged was I went and saw Hamilton in like the musical Hamilton, and I don't normally listen to musicals. It's not my thing. I did not listen to Hamilton until I listened to the full 3 hours at once. So if somebody was like playing one track, I was like, please stop. I don't want to hear this. And then I listened to 3 hours straight and then cried at the end.
No joke. That is like my favorite musical. I love Hamilton. Like I saw it, and to this day, like I will occasionally just listen to the entire like soundtrack and feel it all again. It is amazing.
Yep. I will not listen to it too often because I don't want to do that. Like I don't want to downplay it ever. I'm never going to play it because I'm like, oh, I like this. This sounds neat. Like, no, I'm going on the 3 hour adventure. We're going to be sad at the end. Like that's.
Okay, so Hamilton, I've never even heard of it. So,
well, you have homework now.
Okay, no, seriously, put that like I need to do this because music for me is nothing but. I mean, it's amazing, but it is a complete passionate driven thing. Like the concerts I went to, the environment of the crowd dictated how much I liked the music. As in, if all the crowd is singing with the band, I love it. I don't care what it is. If they're
Go
not,
see Clutch.
And
seriously, I have never seen more enthusiastic fans.
See, like that,
it was
a
sight to behold.
Right. I don't know enough about music to do what Kirk does to understand, like what exactly how awesome what they're doing is. That's just part of my thing is I'm not the most musically inclined person.
You don't need to be.
But
to love music, you don't need to be.
Right. But Hamilton, I'm interested in that, the way y'all have both talked that up so much. Because I'm not a musical guy or music, what is it called? Where they sing the lyrics to a play, musical. I'm not the musical guy.
Neither am I at all. I am. Think about the founding fathers of the United States. Okay, now that's all told through the lens of hip hop.
Oh wait, like Alexander Hamilton, that guy?
Yeah, like Alexander, George Washington. Now the whole thing is done through hip hop, and sounds
this is be
weird.
Fantastic.
It is spectacular, just next level good.
Where do I can I go on YouTube and just Google
I would listen to the whole album, so I would try to go through like Spotify or.
But it's on Apple Music or whatever. Like I could.
Yeah,
get,
but do the whole
They actually
album.
have the whole thing on
order.
The Disney streaming platform. They have the original like recording of Lin-Manuel Miranda and cast doing it, and well worth the time. Even like if you don't have it, I think there's probably a free trial available that would be well worth doing that. It's incredible to see and experience.
I love this episode actually the most, and the reason I do is because it's small and more intimate, and the fact that every single one of us has some sort of passionate attraction to music that plays a massive role in their lives. And I do feel like we feel it stronger than anybody else does, which is another positive of being ADHD.
There is a backside to that, though.
What can put you down?
I'm one of the people that can, if I listen to tunes that are of a serious nature, that I have to watch how am I feeling before that comes on. The moment I hear a tune, and I get that gut feeling saying, "Nah, not today," I turn it off because I know from experience that, okay, that's going to affect me bad. And I've made the mistake of not turning it off. I'm not doing that again. But also, like you were talking about, you can sit there and listen to music nonstop for so long. And I'm the person that's often up at 2 a.m. I cannot start listening to music at 1 a.m. if I think I'm hopefully going to be going to sleep at 2, because I will be listening to music at 4 a.m. still. So you got to be careful on that.
Yeah. It plays to your mood. I mean, you can find something that will.
It activates my brain as well as it can calm it down sometimes. But sometimes if I just put music on and it's supposed to be this sleep meditation type thing.
No.
It is distracting and I'm going, got to turn it off.
Yeah.
The only thing that can be noise for me when I'm supposed to go to sleep and I'm not quite sleepy yet is the TV on some kind of program that's just talking.
I could not agree with you more. I cannot fall asleep unless there is some sort of white noise in the background. Usually it's or something on.
And
DVD,
it can't be too interesting. It can't be something that catches my interest a lot.
Right.
So if
That's
it's Animal
fascinating,
Planet
actually.
and episodes I've watched 5, 6, 10 times before, totally can put it on because I know this. The brain isn't going to go, oh, this is interesting. It's going to go, oh, it's there.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So I guess what I'm hearing is that, so if you have ADHD, I think that you feel the music more, right? So we all agree on that. You feel the music more. You also have more respect for the people that are producing the music based on
You buy the music.
You buy right, exactly. I actually do still do the buy the music thing. I know that's like people don't do that now, or it's free.
You buy the music.
You like subscribe.
You buy the music if they have their own subscription platform that they run, the band, or if they have their own label.
Yeah.
Then buy from there. Don't go and only stream on Spotify. Yes, use Spotify to listen to it, but they're getting nothing.
Right.
This is my soapbox for today. They're getting nothing from the Spotify streaming or streaming on any other service. If you buy their albums through places that will sell the albums and they don't sell it themselves, then sure. But if they do sell it themselves, go to their website, to their own label. That's when they get the most money.
Got it.
Well, now we have to have all of the bands mentioned tonight have to share this episode.
Oh my God, how
because
funny
they're
would that
gonna be
be?
so happy that Flushing just said that.
That's a great point. That's a really good point.
Tickets to Hamilton.
Oh, geez.
Unfortunately, I don't think they're going to put Hamilton on in Norway. We're too small.
Well, but I guess we're all going to have to fly out there. You're going to have to fly here. So
Yeah, exactly. So I think we do all agree that we experience it more, and I think that we have more respect for it and the crowd and the environment. I mean, I think if you have ADHD, like there's no other way to listen to music unless you have ADHD. Like if you could just turn something on that you love and then just put it down, I'm sorry, but that sucks. Like like in my opinion, I think you want to be as involved as humanly possible with it. That's what we do.
You can use it differently though. When I was studying still, I would have music on of a certain kind that I knew wouldn't distract me, but I had to have it on. I couldn't not have any noise at all, because I wouldn't be studying if that was the thing. Still as a kid, when I was doing homework, I can have the radio on because the adults around me knew that I wouldn't be disturbed. I was doing my homework. I was really focusing. I was doing it correctly too. I had to have that noise on.
Yeah, I agree. I did too. I think about like music in my childhood and like my mom. So I was born in 91, so I grew up in the 90s. And
young one, you were.
So my mom would listen to Fleetwood Mac, John Bon Jovi, like all of those, you know, her 80s and everything. And I loved it. So now, like, that's all of my playlists and everything. I have all of those songs. And there's some people like around my age that are like, oh, I hate that song. My mom used to listen to it in the car all the time, or my dad used to. I'm like, that's like one of the reasons I love some of these songs, because it reminds me of my childhood, like having my mom jam out to it, like Bruce Springsteen singing to me about Christmas when we're decorating the tree, like not the, you know, classic Christmas music and everything. Just all of that. I love it. And sometimes there'll be a song that I haven't heard in a long time that maybe I was obsessed with at the time, but you know, when you get obsessed with the song, you kind of play it out, and then at some point you're like, all right, I need a break. But then when you hear a song that you haven't heard in a while, and you're like, oh my God, I forgot about this song. I forgot that I was in love with this song. And then it's just like, I don't know, like it rekindles something in you.
Absolutely. You remember like where you are when you hear the certain songs that stick with you. I mean, it really is incredible. We're really brilliant people. We really are, and we just got to accept it. But does anyone say again?
I said very well.
Yeah,
we will. We're brilliant. Cool.
Yeah, we really fucking are. Like it's just really difficult to be like, we're a lot smarter than everybody else, accept it, you know, kind of thing. So. It's one question for this is, if you had to define music in one word, what would it be?
Life.
Emotion.
Music is essential.
Brilliant.
That works. I would say music is educational.
That too. The reason I said life is that I said music is my soul. I can't do without it, so it's life.
Like if a teacher in high school was a really good musician and had an awesome band and had a concert where they spoke the lesson they were trying to teach, I probably would have done better. You know, like truly. So
that's definitely, I had to make up songs for things when I was learning, like spelling. Who the frick knows how to spell stuff?
Yeah, exactly.
So I'd like make up songs to remember the letters.
E, F, G. We all learned that song. Yep.
Yeah,
I still have to do those in my head sometimes. I'm like, where is I? Where is I in the alphabet?
Yeah, no, I have to go through it twice to figure that out. So what are we most proud of? Blushing?
In the middle of a really hectic and really rough ADHD assessment that isn't quite done yet, I managed to yesterday pass my traffic theory test, which in Norway is really demanding and extensive compared to most other countries.
Hell yeah. Nice work. Leo.
Awesome.
Oh, let's see. What am I most proud of? So I on Monday, I start with the new startup that I joined, Copy AI. So that is that's kind of huge for me, because I've been following along. They're just over a year old now, and I've been like following their whole journey since the very beginning, and now I get to like be a part of it, which is super cool for me.
Nice.
So I'm going to say that, because that's just I'm super pumped for that.
Hell yeah. Terri.
I am proud of myself for speaking up for myself and sharing my true experiences, or whatever you want to say. So I've kind of opened up a little bit more in this past week. So I'm proud of myself for that. I stuck up for myself, and I even flipped out at my therapist yesterday, so I'm proud of that.
Oh, that is excellent. That's my favorite one yet. Hell yeah. Your blog that you wrote, that's got to be, I mean, that was fantastic.
Thank you. Yeah, I felt really good for just coming out and saying it. Mostly though, there were a couple people that reached out to me that read it and were like, and younger than me that were like, I had no idea. I thank you for saying that. Like, I don't feel alone. So it just was kind of a reminder that like, share whatever you're going through or have gone through, because you don't know, you might be that person for somebody else that you needed when you were going through this.
Right.
So
awesome. And Kirk?
So at the end of this month, I'm taking my first full-length paid vacation in like 2 years.
No way.
And my job is very performance-based. I was done for the month on the 21st. So just to know, like, I did everything that I needed to do in 3 weeks when everyone else is going to need more than 4. So I can go on vacation and still get paid as much as I want to get paid, was a really, really good feeling. So I'm going to thoroughly enjoy this vacation.
How long is it? How long is the vacation?
It's a week. It's a week.
Okay,
Nothing special.
I got you.
But not only am I going on this vacation, but I already paid for and planned my next vacation at the beginning of next year. So like just being able to do all that in 1 week.
What's this word you said? Planned? I don't understand.
That's right. I thought we couldn't do that.
What
Listen,
is this?
someone else planned. I paid.
That's
okay. He's proud of himself. He's proud for planning it.
He's proud of saying, "Hey, plan this.
you do this. I'll pay for it. You plan it. You use the website. Here's my money." Yeah,
I'd be proud of that too. This past about a week and a half ago was Will's wedding. That I know y'all know that story and everything. I mentioned it on every single podcast, and I was able to speak at it. And he gave me this awesome cup as a groomsman gift, which I thought was really, really cool. And he told me, pretty much prior to him walking, the whole ceremony and all of that, he was like, I wouldn't be here if it wasn't for you. So that I'm very happy with that.
Well, that is definitely something to be proud of, for sure.
And he's
for
in he's in Greece right now with his bride. They've been there for two weeks, so it's awesome. It's amazing. So yes, I am very very proud of that.